Well, holidays mean retailers are placing big bets on what'll be hot for the winter season. Our next guest has her finger on the fashion pulse, and she has stock picks as well. Adrienne Tennant is managing director and analyst with FBR Capital Markets. She joins us live from her offices right here in Arlington, Virginia. So, Adrienne, I got to ask you about this. I love your report. What's the trend? You're talking about mad for plaid. What are you talking about?
So the single biggest thing that's going to happen for holiday, especially in the teen space, is going to be plaid. From everything from hats to shirts to slippers, boxers, you name it, it's all in plaid.
Sounds scary.
Yeah. It's actually pretty attractive. It's something we haven't seen in a long time. I think dust off your things from about a decade ago and you'll be in style.
Hey, how did plaid go from lumberjack to, fashion runway?
You know, in retail, the pendulum always swings back and forth, and if you just hold on to it long enough, it probably comes back into style. So we haven't seen a woven trend, the button-down shirts. We haven't seen that in a while. It's been all these graphic tees, and now we need something new, and plaid's the item du jour.
Hey, so let me ask you, I'm sitting at home, I want to know who the winners or losers are. So who's going to win with this plaid trend?
So two names that we really like for holiday are going to be American Eagle and The Gap. We think both of them have placed their bets very nicely on the plaid trend. The Gap is going to do some significant television advertising for the first time in a long while. And we also think they'll raise numbers tomorrow. For American Eagle, we think that they just landed the product in late October, and that will carry them through the holiday season.
And Aeropostale, I think that was in your report as a loser. Why? They don't have plaid?
Well,
I mean, is it that simple?
You know, what I'll say about Aeropostale, they're still doing a fantastic job in that lower tier, value category. So October comps are still going to be very good for them. They're probably going to raise the number tomorrow. What I'm saying is simply that they seem to be missing this wovens trend. So in the near term, it might take a little bite out of their share. If they can get back into it, which is tough to do right now because it's tough to chase, then it might hurt them a little bit at the margin.
Hey, let's talk about sort of big picture. One of the other things that you talked about in your report, from lean inventories, cost controls, et cetera. Can you sort of talk about the retail backdrop as a whole?
Yeah, so this year, very different to last year. Last year, these retailers were laden with excess inventory, had to mark the stuff down at the end of the season, 70, 80, even 90% off in some cases. This year, the exact opposite. J. Crew, Chico's, White House Black Market, all stocking out of inventory, having to chase that inventory, empty shelves. I mean, if you want it this year, you're going to have to pay full price for it if it's really the key item you need. That's a very healthy backdrop for retailers, despite the shrinking demand pool.
Adrienne, earlier we were talking about how some of the market moves have looked a little bit crackers. Some of the moves in retail-related stocks have looked a little crackers. Pacific Sun is one that you cover that's had this incredible run-up. What does an investor do when they look at these wild moves in these names?
I think at the end of the day, you have to look for, we're seeing a shift from just making the numbers on margins on the back of inventory and cost cutting, and you're seeing an investor sentiment shift to want those retailers that have a top line turn also going on, so that you can transition from that margin story to a top line longer term 2010 story. We're seeing that happen. J. Crew, Chico's, Eagle.
Pacific Sunwear has that?
What I would say about Pacific Sunwear is I think this is going to be the first quarter that you're going to see from them where they're actually beating both the top line numbers and the bottom line. So the loss is less bad and the negative comp is less bad. So I think we're right on the verge. I think it's a very good risk-reward story.
Hey, Adrienne, I want to talk big picture as well. We get Black Friday later on this month. Supposedly when retailers go into the black, are we really going to see it this time around?
I think that the NRF has a forecast for holiday of down 1%. We're a little bit more optimistic. We think that people who have the capacity to spend, who didn't spend last year, will open up their wallets a little bit more. They feel a little bit more comfortable with the job scenario, that they're job confidence.
All right, we're going to leave it on that note. Adrienne, thanks so much. We're looking forward to this mad for plaid season.